News with Gina.
The News with Gina Grad.
Well, the fallout for Liam Neeson continues after the actor went public with his decades-old thoughts about killing someone as a form of revenge. On Tuesday, the red carpet at the New York premiere of his movie Cold Pursuit, it was scrapped just hours before it was set to take place. The premiere will still happen, but the red carpet interviews with the stars, that's all out. So we haven't really talked about this yet. So here's the original clip that I believe it was with The Independent when he was talking about how he relates to this character in Cold Pursuit because of something that happened in his past.
Did she know who it was? No. What color were they? She said it was a black person.
Neeson then describes going out with a club looking for vengeance.
I went up and down areas hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that. And I did it for maybe a week, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, so that I could kill him.
So this was because of a friend of his got raped. This was years ago, and this was sort of how his triggered sort of response was. Then he went on GMA to discuss it with Robin Roberts, and that went well. Here we go.
There was this primal...
He just said the same thing, right?
Hatred, I guess, that really, really shocked me when I eventually came down to earth.
You're admitting that it was wrong. You've learned from that. But you have to also understand the pain of a black person hearing what you said.
Absolutely.
That.
It's weird. I study everything from a sort of socio-dynamic kind of whatever. So it's kind of weird, but if you start talking about teen suicide, and there's a lot of movies now about like teens and suicides and teens, you'll notice your kids will just start talking about suicide and teens and suicide, or it's like the whole transgender thing. When I was a kid, didn't exist, never heard of it. Now you get a group of 3 or 4 parents together, one of them has a kid that's like, transitioning or experimenting with or whatever. And I always kind of say, and they go, why? It's like school shootings. I go, there's no school shootings. Why are there school shootings? And you go, guns or people are evil or whatever it is. And there's an answer, which is because there are school shootings, because there's transgender, there's more transgender. Because if you do...
Like Fire Festival docs.
Like Fire Festival docs or volcano movies from 1992.
Yeah. One begets another.
Right, Dante's Peak. But there's something going on that when you constantly talk about race, when it's just like a race, many people are going to take this sort of hero side, which is I was the subject of racism, or my best friend are the Jackson 5, and I was traveling with them, and I stood up when they wouldn't let us eat at the restaurant or something. There's going to be like a lot of it's just a discussion we're going to have. A small percentage of people there's a small percentage of people that I always just describe as when you have a tooth and it's sensitive and it hurts, you flick it with your tongue. Like you just
have to feel it.
You just have to keep doing it. Now, most people are like, I'm not going to get near that tooth because it hurts every now and then. And then there are people that just keep flicking it. So a small percentage, and you're kind of seeing little weird versions of it. There's a small percentage that just because it's always the topic, are going to do some weird counter non-hero version of this story. They're going to be compelled. Yeah. Like, Liam Neeson's done 1 million press conference and 1 million junkets. This has never come out. Why has he been saying? Now, you could go, well, you asked him about vengeance, but every one of his movies, he does documentaries about dolphins that are about hunting them down and killing the pod. He narrates a documentary about a fucking dolphin pod, and it turns into vengeance at some point.
Yeah,
so
taken 1 through 18.
But he's never brought it up in all the movies and all the sit-downs. So there's a sort of a yin and a yang of a topic, the black and the white, and it'll be smaller. It'll be much smaller, but you'll hear more you'll hear some go on that side of it as well.
That's really interesting. I did not think of it that way, because the first thing I thought of when this came out, I thought of you saying, okay, so this is the open and honest dialogue everyone's been asking for, and now his movie premiere's canceled.
Oh, well, there is no...
You know, because he's saying, hey, I never would have had to tell this story, but here's how crazy my thinking was, and here's how far I've come, and now he's in trouble.
And in that first clip, he did say he was ashamed.
Of course, that's the whole point.
It's not like he was braggadocious.
Well, also, can we say this? I'm going to say this. I am very action-oriented, and I'm non-action-oriented at the same time. You block an Indian guy with a smirk on your face. If you don't punch Indian guy or do anything to Indian guy, then nothing happened to the Indian guy. We're making way too much about, look at it, what he did to his psyche.
We're talking about Billy Jack and the soda fountain, right?
That's right. That Indian guy was nuts anyway. But either way, you got to punch somebody in my world before you've really crossed a line somewhere. And Liam Neeson, who I'm going to go out on a limb, has no history of hunting black men, at least in the last 40 years. His words, his discussion, I need the rubber to hit the road somewhere. I need something done. In order for me to fully judge. You know, again, you're an arsonist in your heart. You never struck a match. I got no time for you. I'm not interested. The guy who's thinking about cheating on his wife but never does, you know, but he has it in his heart or his mind or his soul. We are taking pictures of politicians and blackface from 35 years ago. We're getting into yearbooks of guys who may be judges. We're getting into the minds of 16-year-olds who go to some Christian school. We're taking Liam Neeson. There is no physical manifestation of any of this. It's all just about, well, he thought this, or he said that, or he made a joke, or he was honest with you about feelings he was having when he was 23 or whatever it is. That is not the same as action. It's not even near the same of act. Like anybody who's been a real victim of crime, a real victim, you know, the person who was raped, brutally raped by this person that Liam was going to... I'll bet that person wishes the person was thinking about rape and not actually raping them or making a joke about rape or talking out loud about rape in some sort of distasteful way versus the actual rape. We're on a super crazy, slippery slope here. If we're going to start taking actions and words or stances or looks or yearbooks and start turning them into something.
We're also obsessed now with wrestling, no pun intended, wrestling these things into what fits the narrative. Like Liam Neeson had this horrible thing happen to a friend of his, and as a result, he had these deranged fantasies that he's now very, ashamed of, and he relates that story, and the story becomes Liam Neeson wanted to kill black guys. Well,
right.
Well, that's not really the story.
Yeah, the headline, Liam Neeson, quote, "I'm not racist." It's like, well,
Right.
that wasn't what he was saying.
But also, I know Liam Neeson's not racist because he's put together 40 years in this country without doing anything to anybody, which is my... Look, that's the way I choose to go through life because it's a much more accurate way to go through life. You call somebody a racist, now I need to look at their racist resume and see. And if I start finding out that Liam Neeson was on the set of Taken 3 and there was a black caterer and he refused to eat the meal or whatever it is, then that's a conversation. Or he got somebody fired.
They hunted him down and killed him.
He got the key grip fired just because he was a man of color, whatever. It's like, I need some meat and potatoes here with this stuff. I can't have he told a story or we found a picture from 35 years ago. That doesn't make you a racist. And as I like to say, never been a better time to be an actual racist because we don't go after. There are real racists who do need a little sunlight and a little bleach, and they're all lost because we're going after Liam Neeson. Yeah. We don't have enough. That's my whole problem. And as far as the honest dialogue goes about race, dads, stay home, raise your sons. That's the problem. That is the problem in the black community. That will solve 97% of what we're talking about or taking a knee for or doing any of this stuff. It's insane. There's the honest part, everyone. Take it or leave it. That's the honest conversation nobody wants to have. Dads never even come up in the honest conversation. Please. You guys sicken me. Thank you.
Next story.
Next story.
All right. Well, you might remember this story from a few years ago, and it is getting attention today because Yahoo News reports that a Massachusetts woman who was convicted of coercing her boyfriend over text messages into killing himself will serve her full sentence following a ruling on Wednesday's
this one.
High Court. Yeah, this was crazy. Michelle Carter, she's going to get a 15-month sentence handed down. This is from 2017 for involuntary manslaughter. It's been placed on hold as the Supreme Judicial Court reviewed the appeal.
Can I say this? You know, there's that thing where they got the guy from Cosby and is the black actor, and they found him over at the Trader Joe's, and they took a picture, and then you go, Tyler Perry's going to offer him a role. Mm-hmm. We like that.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
I don't appreciate what this young girl did, but if I were selling timeshares,
okay,
I would recruit her. I would headhunt her.
She can sell anything.
Well,
the track record,
the ultimate sell.
I mean, you can get if the premise is correct.
It used to be you could sell snow to an Eskimo. Yeah, exactly. We got to rethink our idioms.
A high rise in Boca Raton. It's only half populated. I just feel like in and I know it's morbid, but I'm saying in a world where you get people and you go, this guy's good at that, and that guy could work at this. Somebody's got to go after her.
Wow.
Because she can sell. She can sell on the phone.
Can't argue with that.
It's hard to argue with that. It's almost impossible.
Norm Pattinson's on the phone with her right now.
We're doing a pod.
So she was 17 when this happened. She urged her 18-year-old boyfriend, who was suicidal at the time, to go ahead and finish the job, killing himself with carbon monoxide in his pickup truck. There were texts that went back and forth. He got out of the car. He was scared. She said to get back in the car, finish what you started. You release, sweet freedom. You'll be so much happier. Your parents will be fine. All of it.
Wow.
Your parents will be fine. They won't be depressed. They'll move on. Get back in the car.
I have
timeshare's looking pretty good right now.
So I got a 13-inch color TV just for showing up at the seminar.
Tell me more.
So this is a horrible person, but I do my fantasy is, my TV show. Like, I'm not interested in her. Like, my fantasy is I just walk in the living room and sit down with the parents and go, "What the hell happened? What the hell happened?
Yeah.
How did you create? What did you do?"
At 17.
What? I'll get the texts out. I'll get the tweets out. I'll get the whatever. And I'll go, "This is your daughter. What happened? How did you figure this?" Like, look, bad haircut or bad music or bad whatever. I'll look the other way. But this is what you've created.
Yeah.
This isn't stealing a pack of cigarettes from the 7-Eleven. This is what did you guys do?
Yeah, and she's still a minor.
Oh, my God. So, wait, what happened?
So she will be sentenced to 15 months in jail, in prison, and that had been appealed for all this time. Meanwhile, the boys...
It's got to be weird, though, for, she's going to be in prison, and at some point, some chick's going to go, "I heard what you did. Now I'm going to cut you, bitch." And she's going to go, "You mean you're going to stab yourself?" And you go, "What? Huh? No, I'm going to cut you, bitch. I heard you're going to cut yourself."
The sweet relief from all this.
And the wife knife starts shaking.
No. Yes.
She has dominion.
It's turning around.
Yes.
It's a good idea.
So, good luck getting this, but the boy's mother is doing a $4.2 million wrongful death lawsuit against her. And
does she have $4.2 million?
Of course not. But this is crazy. This is a crazy story because, like teenagers today, it wasn't like they weren't hanging out all the time. It was kind of a digital relationship, a lot of texting. They didn't really know each other that well. She certainly didn't know the family. And then afterwards, she came by asking to, go through his personal belongings and really wanted to be there for the family. And the psychology of it that people were, I think, in the court case presenting was that it kind of sounds a little Munchausen by proxy-ish.
My boyfriend killed him.
Exactly.
Yes. It's the victim.
Exactly.
We talked about it. Everyone wants to be a victim. Everyone wants to say, I experienced this pain. You don't know. Here's what I've experienced. No one wants to kill themselves, but they do want to say this. That's a very interesting point.
Yeah.
And I totally buy it with the 17-year-olds in the victim cesspool we're growing up in. Now, he must have been suicidal or something.
He was.
And
he had thought about it.
And she really wanted him to do this, according to that stuff.
Exactly. The report's saying, she would talk to her friends all the time about my boyfriend's suicidal, and she'd get a lot of attention.
It's a Munchausen's.
Yeah.
It is. And what else, Gina Grad?
Well, there will be no more kissing at the Panic at the Disco shows. That's the word from the band's manager, who went on a social media rant to let people know he is done with fans who try to plant a smooch on Brendan Urie, the lead singer, during his walk through the crowd. And Brendan confirmed he's on board with this idea through a sort of impassioned YouTube video. Here's a clip.
It's a little weird to me, only because I shake so many hands and it's already enough. Like, I have to clean up, sanitize and everything. But I don't know. It kind of weirds me out. I'm not very comfortable with that, with you guys like kissing without my permission. You know?
We're turning into a huge sack
I'm
of
not
pussies.
really into it, but I appreciate
that is permission.
Yes,
I've granted you permission to kiss me through this decree, my scribe.
When I come through the death walk,
my esquire.
To stop doing it, dude. I don't want to stop doing it.
They call it the death walk.
Yeah, it's just I'm just not comfortable with it. That's the best way I can put it.
Isn't that why you get into rock? To walk through the crowd and have girls kiss you?
Yes.
No menage a trois
Chris
for
says
him.
yes.
Jesus Christ. So, look, I get the part where people are running up on stage and you don't know if they're going to stab you or kiss you or whatever's going on, but oh my God.
And I think specifically there was either part of the video or in the interview he said, and it really, really bothers him when people kiss him on the neck because that is the most intimate part of the body.
Ugh. I don't know. Listen, and also, first off, all you germ assholes, I swear to God, Max Zapata, back me up. I will finish this show at Foxwoods. I finish a show in Wilbur Theater. I'll go out to the lobby. I'll stand there and I'll shake everyone's hand and take a picture with everyone. And then we'll walk back to the hotel and I'll grab a sack of cashews and I'll just use the same hand and throw it right into my mouth. It does not cause anything. It's fine. Stop using the Purell. What a wuss. I hate this band. It's the they are not rock and roll.
Yeah.
That is the opposite.
Can you imagine Tommy Lee Jones saying that?
Don't kiss him without his
Tommy
permission.
Lee, yeah.
Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
Vince Neil, any of them guys?
No, Tommy Lee skippers a houseboat with his dork. That's rock and roll.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be like, there's all the germs on the wheel.
Not anymore.
These things are rentals. Who knows?
Who else's dong
Someone
has been
may
here?
have it's cold and flu season in Lake Elsinore. Yes. Now he gets his dong out and skippers that ship.
Alex Van Halen's dork open on here
That's
last
right.
week.
That's rock and roll.
Stephen Adler's dork open on here 2 weeks ago.
That's right. Steering a vessel with your chode.
Matt Sorms before that. One of the other rock drummers of the era.
It's a new era.
Lars Ulrich had this thing for a month. What do you think he did?
All right, one last quickie.
Oh, right. Well, if your dream wedding includes donuts, then Dunkin Donuts is about to make your dreams come true. The donut chain is taking over a Las Vegas wedding chapel in a few days. There's time to get in on this. I'm going to explain.
Donut cake.
Better.
Donut cake.
Better. Dunkin will be taking over Sure Thing. That's a wedding chapel run by a little pop-up company on Saturday, February 9th from 11 to 3 p.m. According to the press release, couples who get married in the chapel will be surrounded by Dunkin Donuts decor as well as an officiant with Dunkin pink hair. Anyone can get married, renew their vows, do your engagement, and just go donut crazy.
Yeah. Diamond Dallas, not a fan.
Wow.
Yeah. Nothing
Anyone
says
can get-
love like munchkins
Wow.
in your coffee.
Brutal.
When's the last time you had a donut?
I'll eat a gluten-free donut. You know.
Oh, really?
Yes, I will. And
How is a gluten-free donut?
the glazed ones? I can't remember who makes them. They're there. You know,
You know you're eating a
while.
gluten-free donut.
Yeah, you do. It's
Thank
not,
God.
it's not the other stuff. But I'll tell you what, bread is amazing. And I just came across it the other day. It's called Canyon.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't tell me to say this. I just came across Canyon. It's completely allergenic free because they've ruined our food. But it tastes amazing.
Better than Udi's?
Ooh, and I was an Udi's guy.
All right.
Way.
Is this a gluten-free thing?
Yeah, it's everything. I'm not
excited.
eating.
Good. Thank you. Because
Anything
look,
I'm
the
eating
only
is
thing
healthy.
I hate more than Gina Grad making her
You
stuffed
can stop
mushroom
there.
caps with veal and then explaining it's super easy. It's super easy. It's so easy. I hate that. I hate when the guy does the gluten-free pizza, the gluten-free donut, or gluten-free beer, and you go, how is it? I go, you can't tell the difference. Like, get out of here.
I'll tell you what.
Shut up.
I'll take you on to a beer. And that one's called Duradam. It's from Spain. If you like beer, and I loved beer for years and then didn't drink it because I couldn't find any good stuff. When I was over in UK, I said, you got a gluten free beer? And he gave it to me. I was like, wow, this one's really good. Then I came back and now it's in the States. But it is amazing.
Is it like rice based?
I don't
wonder
even
what
know.
makes it
I don't know.
Look,
Dara,
Max
Daura.
Zapata, get a sixer. Let's give it a try. All right, bring it home, Gina Grad.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. I was deeply moved by the President's State of the Union.
That was the news with Gina Grad.